Now, here's Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
Looks like all the weather players coming together for a coastal storm, a nor'easter starting tomorrow. And because it's a slow mover, the duration will extend into early Friday morning. So a lot of weather to get through. We check out live Pinpoint Doppler 12 radar. The main storm center itself is developing across the Midwest in places like Chicago. What will happen is this one will weaken and give rise to a new storm off the coastline by tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. And that'll be the primary storm that tracks south of New England, giving us not just wet snow, but the sleet, rain, wind, potential for some coastal flooding as well. Just cloudy and quiet in Providence right now. Can't rule out a flurry or a sprinkle, but really nothing going on that's significant. Temperature's not bad now, in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Smithfield 41, low 40s along the South Shore. Taunton coming in at 43. So certainly plans to be outdoors, some travel. Again, weather is not a problem. As we widen out the view, some cloudiness coming in off the ocean right now, and that may produce just an isolated sprinkle or flurry, but essentially decent weather for this evening and through the overnight hours. But as we widen out the view and we take a look at our storm system, which will be off the New England coastline by tomorrow evening, very slow mover, and the wind flow around it is such that we'll get strong east and northeasterly winds to gale force, especially along the south coast, gusting over 45 miles per hour. So at the times of multiple high tide cycles, the potential for some coastal flooding. There is a flood advisory for the South Shore now through early Friday morning for at least the potential for some minor flooding on the South Shore. We think it's a more serious situation for East Coastal Mass and the Cape, not quite as serious along the Rhode Island coastline, though we are going to watch the water carefully next couple of days. Starting off this evening and throughout the overnight as we follow the clock right up in here, showing the clouds coming in off the ocean, a flurry or a sprinkle. Now here we are tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Nothing really significant. The morning commute is not it's not impossible. It's just some light snow and rain showers at that time. During the afternoon, becoming a little steadier, some both snow and rain. Notice the coverage starting to expand, especially as we get into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. The blue is snow in our northern suburbs. The green is rain closer to the coastline. And notice throughout the evening hours tomorrow night into Thursday, this blue representing snow in our northwestern suburbs. The further south and east you go towards the coastline, it's more in the way of rain and sleet. But even in the wee hours of Thursday morning, you can see some of the darker blues covering our area, indicating some steady, wet, accumulating snow. This extends into Thursday morning as well as Thursday afternoon, especially north and west of, say, Route 95. It's more in the way of snow, whereas you see a lot of green south and east of Providence. So quite simply, where else but the higher snowfall totals right up in here on the order of 8 to 12 inches north and west of Providence, extreme northwest Rhode Island, Worcester County. Providence metro area is essentially a 4 to 8 inch snowfall. I mean, it could be as low as 4 or as much as 8. And then out towards the lower Cape and Islands, the amounts even lower, only 2 to 4 inches of snow. Kind of a long duration storm, so it extends through Thursday into early Friday as well before we start to see some improvement for the weekend. And while we are concentrating on the snow, the rain, and the wind, you want to keep an eye on the potential for the impacts along the South Shore. Some big waves, some gale force winds, some beach erosion, and watching multiple high tide cycles starting tomorrow through early on Friday morning. And with each high tide cycle, at least along the South Shore, there may be some minor coastal flooding. Finally kicking this thing out of here by the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Better, a mix of clouds and sunshine and temperatures in the 40s. The snowfall accumulation forecast is still a difficult one, so certainly check back with us, but we're favoring the higher elevations north and west of the city.
All right, thanks, Tony.